Good morning. Coming to you from my local woods. I was just taking the dog for a walk, and just wanted to discuss or talk this morning a bit about messaging. I am a copywriter and I work with coaches, and I write the sales conversion copy for things like their launches, and I also teach coaches to write their own copy as well. And so one of the big, pillars, if you like, of this is getting messaging right. And it's something that's particularly, it can be really difficult specifically for coaches, particularly coaches who are in the space of helping, who feel like they don't have a tangible outcome in terms of, a business coach has got something a bit more tangible to talk about, but coaches who work in other modalities and in sort of other niches sometimes feel that they don't. But it's still important to get your messaging really, really right. And one of the most important, or one of the easiest, in fact, ways that you can do this, a kind of shortcut, if you like, is to focus on your customer voice research, is what we call it. And so this is, instead of sitting there brainstorming, thinking about what you think your clients or customers are struggling with, or what you think they are looking for, or what you think their outcome would be, is to do your research and find out what your target audience is actually telling you that they want. And it's fairly straightforward to do this, and it's much less time consuming in a lot of ways than maybe some of the other approaches that you might be used to using. So for example, a really big one is to have conversations with existing and past clients. And if you don't have any yet, get on the phone with people who you think are going to be your ideal client. Hang on a sec, I've lost my dog. Barry! Hello! See if he's going to make a little appearance. Where is he? Where are you, Barry? There you are. Say hi. Ah! Okay, come on, let's go. So yeah, it's about getting on the phone, on the Zoom really, with either past clients or potential clients or people who you think fit into your ideal client brackets, and ask them a series of questions that are going to, here he goes. Oh, he's gone all hyperactive. Ask them a series of questions, very dialed in questions that are going to get you the answers that you need to be able to really dial in your messaging when you are writing copy for things like your social media posts, your marketing, sales pages, even your website, anything that you want to write really for your, for your coaching business. So yeah, having conversations, getting on calls with people is a really, really good way. Another way is surveys, but unless you've got a big audience or a lot of resources to kind of plow into that, it can be hard to get enough data for it to be meaningful. So, you could set yourself a target of maybe 100 surveys, but you're better off like speaking to 3 people, and you'll 3 to 5 people, you'll have, much more stuff that you can use. And also when you have a conversation, people say stuff in a different way than they do when they're filling out a survey, for example. So always record the calls, and you can transcribe them, and then I've got this system that you take all that and you can turn it into a thing that I've got that I call messaging matrix, which breaks it all down into these kind of messaging buckets, if you like. And then you take that and you create your social media strategy, or you write your sales page, or you write your website, or whatever it is that you want to do. So it's a really, really important first step that hardly anyone I see talking about it or doing it. I know trained copywriters do it for their clients because we know that's how to do it. Like, you don't start with a blank page. But I think when people are out there doing it for themselves, this step is often missed. So yeah, your customer voice research is what it's called. Really, really important. Back to basics. And then you just end up with heaps of copy, of words, of ideas. It can give you ideas for products. So yeah, do that. Get on the phone with people, book those Zoom calls, and see what comes out of it. I'm going to leave that there, and I'm just going to, can I flip it? You can you see the misty forest? I'm really looking forward, where's Barry? There he is. Really looking forward to, as I continue doing this, which I will be, sharing the seasons changing in here, because it's one of my favorite places now. And obviously we're in autumn and there's moss on everything, and it's a completely different space in summer and a completely different space in spring, and obviously really different in winter as well. And anyway, I'm getting off on one, but in spring, where I am, we get those bluebell carpets, so I'll be sharing that with you next year. Anyway, that's it. Hope you are having a great Monday, great start to the week, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Okay, bye.